Is this thing on? Can you hear me? I think. Okay. You guys ready? Let's get started. So let's go to 6. I know I'm restarting, but let's go to 6. As for those who persist in disbelief, it is the same whether you warn them or not. They will never believe. God has sealed their hearts and their hearing, and their sight is covered. They will suffer a tremendous punishment. You know, I'm just a guy reading this on the internet, so don't take anything that I say to be a matter of fact. But I like to think about like things left and right and outside of the box, so let's talk about it. As for those who persist in disbelief, it's the same whether you warn them or not. Listen, this can be a thought process when it comes to religion or when it comes to anything. There's truth in this world, and sometimes you could tell people what is considered the truth, and they still will never believe it. Whether it comes from like politics or war or friendship or love or religion, people will disbelieve the truth. Why? Because it doesn't fit their narrative in which they built for life. So you'll find some people, for example, who are in support of some type of war. And the reason why they're in support of some type of war is because most of the time, this thing benefits them personally. I know you think you guys know what I'm talking about, but make your own conclusion. This is the thing about art. You can make your own conclusion. Dog, when I go like this, look how many forehead creases I have. It's unbelievable. I got a lot of forehead. Anyway, so as for those who persist in disbelief, it is the same whether you warn them or not. Literally, you can tell them the objective fact that God is real. God is real. That's an objective fact. Now, the question is, that's not an objective fact, is what role does God actually play? So you can argue, you could say God is the source of existence, because everything needs a source. Then you can make the argument that God is the thing, the being that created the Qur'an. Totally different argument, but you can at least argue that God exists. Does God exist? Is it the creator of all things? Of course, it has to be, because if it wasn't, how the hell could you how could you be here? How could you have been created? It doesn't make any sense. How could you be here without a source to be here? Did you create yourself? I don't think so. You were created. Now, is God intellectual? Does God have intelligence? Does God have the ability to observe? I would say yes. And then the argument that I would use is you have the ability to observe. You have the ability to think. So did your creator not have the ability to think? Is there such thing as like collective human intelligence or collective intelligence? Where does intelligence come from? Was it breathed into you? And from where? Where did the source come from? So you are just the reflection of the source. So if you want to find out, like this AirPods, it's like, how did it get created? Well, it had a manufacturing. They had to understand how to, like, I don't want to pull this out because it's going to mess with the headphones, but they had to understand like they had to understand like electricity. They had to understand how to they had to understand how to make this thing work inside the manufacturing. It just didn't make itself. Every single piece of everything is created. The creator of that thing is like the master knowledge. It's the master key. So this has a master key. Your phone has a master key. Your brain has a master key. The universe has a master key. It's self-evident. It's self-evident to me, but you can tell people, and what they'll do is they'll straw man the argument. Now, what a straw man is, by the way, is they'll take the argument, make it the weakest form possible, and then they'll attack that argument. So, like for example, I was in the mountains. I was climbing Machu Picchu in Peru, in the mountains in Peru. And when I was climbing the mountains in Peru, some lady told me that she doesn't believe in God. I'm not really here to argue about religion with people. I'm just here to go on a hike. I don't really care. So she tells me, I don't believe in God. First of all, why did you tell me? We weren't talking about God, weirdo. And anyways, she's telling me that, and I go, okay, well, what don't you believe in? And she goes, I don't believe there's a man in the sky. And I thought to myself, I don't believe in a man in the sky either. So I said to the lady, well, it depends on what you mean by God. See, you create a weak definition of something, and then you attack that definition. Better to steel man that position. Make a strong definition of something, and then attack the strong definition. That way you know you're on the pursuit of the truth. But God has sealed their hearts and their hearing, and their sight is covered. Now, God is blinding them, but they're also blinding themselves. They're deceiving themselves because they'll tell themselves lies in order to support their justification, in order to support what they actually think. They have a prerequisite understanding of something, and then they'll create lies to protect that prerequisite understanding of something. This is like the same thing as a defense mechanism. I hope I'm not going too fast because this is like a deeper understanding than like the first time I made these videos. So yeah, I hope I'm making sense. They will suffer a tremendous punishment. Now, this is not up to me to say who will suffer tremendous punishment or where, but I wonder when they will suffer a tremendous punishment. Is it in this life, or is it in the life after? Or is it in both? As you can see, I think that you know, in the Quran, it talks about how these societies fall. And I think the way that they fall is corruption. For example, the best way to see if an economy is going to survive is simply through trust. If you have economy and nobody's honorable and they all screw each other over, then you're not going to have any trust, and then the economy is going to fall apart. So it's like essentially it's the same thing. Now, will they be punished in the hereafter? I believe something. I believe that your soul has to be cleaned some way or another. So it's either you're going to clean it here or it's going to clean it there. Your soul gets dirty from the actions that you do. And the way to clean your soul is to reflect, to clean it out, to reflect, to think, shoot, what did I do? Or to just allow the natural processing to happen. Imagine you ask the source of creation for forgiveness. What you're actually doing, so if imagine, like, think about it practically. If the source of forgiveness is mercy, it's like the source of mercy, and you ask the source for mercy, and you believe that the source is all merciful, then you believe that you've been forgiven. And if you believe that you've been forgiven, then you forgive yourself. And if you believe that you can forgive yourself, then your soul can let go of the pain. This is how the logic fits in my head. I don't know. Maybe some people will get mad at me, but this is how it sets. Now, obviously, like, one of the prerequisites for forgiveness is like you have to promise you're never going to do it again. You're not pulling a fast one on the creator of the universe. But if you try to pull a fast one on the creator of the universe, what are you really doing? You're trying to pull a fast one on yourself. Because if you say, like, let's just say, like, you do something, like you go and you smoke some weed or something, yeah? So you go and you smoke weed. And then you go, I'm not going to do that again. And then you ask for forgiveness. But in the back of your mind, you say, I might do it again. What are you doing? Why are you saying that? Better to just not ask for forgiveness at all than to fake it. Or maybe not. Maybe better to ask for forgiveness, but try to be as sincere as possible, knowing that you still might make a mistake. Actually, I take what I said back. Probably better to I'm trying to find an angle. Is this good or is this annoying? It's like from here you can see me at the top. But it's better for you to, I think actually I changed my mind. It's better for you to ask for forgiveness with the intention to actually not do that thing. Because what's the point of asking for forgiveness if you don't have the intentions to not do that thing again, knowing that you might slip up? But then you slip up, and then what do? You forgive yourself. So God says over and over again in the Quran, in the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. So you mess up, forgive yourself. God forgives you. You mess up, you forgive yourself. God forgives you. How could you be the epitome of mercy and not forgive? Have you ever met a merciful person? They're forgiving all the time. So what do you think God is trying to say? But yet it's you. You can't forgive yourself. So then you're putting that onto God. Don't do that. Don't do that. I think that's enough for 6. What do you guys think? Let me know. Thanks for listening, guys. Goodbye.